it's Jody Sutter of the Sutter Company, and it's Just Ask Jody. It's that time when I take a question from an agency around an issue they're having with business development, and I'll answer that question in 4 minutes or less. And today the question is, when is the right time to follow up with a prospect after the introductory meeting? So the first thing that I'm going to say is that you can avoid this question altogether by simply scheduling the next meeting while you are in the present meeting. Get it on the calendar while you're both in the same room or on the same Zoom call or both on the phone together. It's a really simple tactic and it works 9 times out of 10, and it's super important for advancing the sale. And sure, maybe they'll cancel, but if there's any sort of authentic desire to keep the conversation going with you, then they probably won't. You know, it's so much easier than to try to re-engage them after the fact. Stuff gets in the way, and that has the potential to override their authentic desire to continue the conversation with you, with a likelihood or the chance that you may get pushed to the back burner, and we definitely don't want that to happen. Now, if they're not willing to schedule the next meeting during the meeting that you're in, ask them when a good time to follow up would be. Don't ask me, ask your client. Now, this is going to tell you a couple of things. One, it's going to tell you when you should follow up, but you also maybe want to find out what the reason is behind that timing. So is it just because her boss is out of town for another 2 weeks? She's got to wait for her boss to come back to talk to her about this opportunity? Is it because she'd like to include you as an agenda item on the next leadership team meeting? That doesn't happen for another month. Or is it because they have to wait until the next budget comes around, and that won't be for another, say, 6 to 9 months? So that'll not only tell you when the timing is going to be right, but it'll offer you intelligence about the procedure that she's going to have to go through in order to sell you through to her management, and it's going to help you make smart decisions on how to follow up. Okay, so let's say you didn't do any of that, and you are now in that unenviable position of needing to follow up. I don't have any hard and fast rule on the perfect amount of time between that first meeting and that follow-up call. I usually say anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. A lot of it's going to depend on the situation. But what I will say is that time is going to move much faster for you than it is for your prospect, especially if you're really excited about this opportunity or if you really need the piece of business to close to make your pipeline a little bit healthier. But time is going to move faster for you than for them. So if 1 to 2 weeks feels like a long time, it probably doesn't feel like a long time to them. And finally, what happens when you can't re-engage them? Well, I did a video on that exact question a short time ago, and I'm going to include the link to that video in the show notes below, and you can check it out. That's it for this Just Ask Jody. If you have a question you want me to answer, you can email me at jody@thesuttercompany.com. See you next time.